Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Between the Dots. And today we're talking more AI. And I know it's a lot of AI. We've had a big focus on it on the show here and also just in life at every conference at ASAE, MMCT. But today, what we want to do is sort of preview our upcoming webinar that's going to help everybody prep for ASAE's upcoming AI in Action demo days. So I promise we'll switch topics next time. I have some really interesting ones to think through. But today we want to talk about, making sure that you're walking into that AI in action with good thoughts and ways to think about AI. And also, if you're not, just come to the webinar to have good thoughts and new ways to think about AI.
Right? Because we talk a lot about right sizing systems. We talked about that, I think, before all the demo days, and it's just as applicable to AI, right? Like
Mhm.
to avoid getting caught up in the shiny objects and the cool demos, and but also not being overwhelmed by the whole scope of it. And you've been thinking about this right sizing, Rhoni. How do we get there?
Yeah, so really right-sizing AI to me, it is, like you said, it is a lot like other systems, but in this case, there's more risk, right? There's more ways it can go haywire and it's more experimental. So really looking at like actual capacity, risk tolerance, and problem-solving use cases, to me, that's really the most important way to talk about right-sizing. And so we talk about knowing yourself, right? Like we talk about
Yeah.
that when you do an AMS, when you do an LMS. Like in this case, knowing yourself really means knowing your data and what you can actually use for AI. Like, is your web
Mhm.
content good enough? Is your member data good enough? What data can you actually use? What is your internal capacity? Like, does staff have the skill set? Do they have the time? What can they do internally? Knowing your guardrails, really important. What are you comfortable with? What risks do you not want to go down? Where is your
Yes.
scope? And then always my favorite, knowing your members. What will they find useful? What's going to be a benefit to them? And it doesn't have to be member facing. Something that shortens the certification review process is a staff facing efficiency, but it is going to maybe really help your members.
So that's a lot of kind of dimensions that you
So
have to
many.
consider, right? And I feel like it's an art as well as a science to figure out how to
Mhm.
navigate through the middle path of this. Because of course, you could risk overbuying, like with any system, but in AI, you could completely overwhelm your team, and then they
Mhm.
begin to think that like it'll never work, right? Like because such a scary place.
Mhm.
Or you could kind of underinvest and not take advantage of all this tech that's emerging because it feels overwhelming, and then your staff are off doing lots of things, shadow IT things, because they're going to use AI, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So, so if you've all these dimensions and you've all these things that could happen, this dark, scary forest, right? How do you go start on this path?
Yeah. No, that's a great point. I think really having a plan for how you're going to take a bite-sized chunk is
Mhm.
critical. So we have a number of what we call AI sprints that really attack that question of like, what is a small digestible thing you can do? Is it using HubSpot to put a chatbot up on your website with the guardrails of only your web content, right? Because you're confident in your web content. Or is it um, a custom prompt assistant that's going to help with the way that your customer support engages with members so that it's always in a specific brand voice.
Oh, I love that.
What's the bite-sized chunk?
Yeah, it's like getting your arms around something that's
Mhm.
feasible and doable and a clear win, and you can
Mhm.
celebrate it and you can know that you're moving forward.
Exactly. Like, one step at a time. So just
Yeah,
what's that first step? And then you take the next step. And so
right.
really just keeping it chunked.
Building clarity along the
Mhm.
way.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right.
Well, looking forward to the webinar
Yes.
and looking forward to seeing you on. I've registered for AI demo days. I'll be there asking questions and learning right alongside you and look forward to seeing you there.
And I will not be there because I will be at Association Innovate. So looking forward to seeing other folks. If you're not at demo days, hopefully you're at Association Innovate.
Great.
We'll see you there. Bye.
Bye.